Hi everyone, George Farmer here, and this video is going to show you all about how to aquascape this beautiful planted nano aquascape. It's mainly edited from a 3-hour live stream, so I've edited it right down. Hopefully you like it, and please subscribe. Keep on scaping. Hi everyone, George Farmer here, and I'm here at Aquarium Gardens today to aquascape this nano aquarium. I'm going to be using some really interesting stones actually. I've never used them before. It's called fossilised wood stone. I've used petrified wood and other similar types, but this is quite unique. I'm actually going to do a different style of aquascape to what I'm used to. It's going to be a bit of a diorama, so we're actually transferring a whole landscape scene and trying to shrink that into the aquarium. So it's a very popular style of aquascaping these days, so I thought I'd show you guys hopefully how to do it. One of the biggest things I've learnt in recent years in aquascaping, it's not necessarily looking at the aquascape from left to right or right to left. It's actually viewing the aquascape from front to back. And one of the real popular and clever ways to enhance the sense of depth is to actually use large textured items, hardscape and plants at the front of the aquascape in the foreground, and actually work your way to smaller textures and smaller, finer leaf plants, smaller pieces of hardscape in the background, and that actually forces this enhanced sense of perspective. For the photographers out there, you can also get an even further enhanced sense of depth by using wide angle lenses, so that's another trick for you guys. So we'll move on to actually the hardscape itself. So like I said earlier, we're using fossilised wood stone, really interesting rock, really kind of lots of textures, lots of different kind of colours, ranging from almost like a white to a dark brown and everything in between, and yeah, it's lovely. So like I said earlier, we'll start off with our biggest stone right at the front, so to create this enhanced sense of depth. And I'm going to basically create some rocks on the left there, some rocks on the right, and have a pathway leading up in between to give this impression of a canyon. So I'm going to add another bag of soil now, and then I'm going to use some substrate separators, which will hopefully help to stop the soil from sliding forward, because it will try to level out over time, especially soil, because it's quite light. Having the stones partially buried in the soil will help to prevent the levelling as well, but just to be on the safe side, because we are going very steep towards the rear. What we call substrate separators. These are literally cut up pieces of plastic corrugated card, if you like. It's used in plant packaging, and I've just cut them into different sizes, and all we simply do is slot them in so they hopefully become invisible. And then hopefully, I don't know if you guys can see on the live stream, we've actually got a tiny gap here, and this is called the vanishing point. So in technical drawing, 3D drawing, you have a thing called the vanishing point, and the lines converge to this vanishing point, and it helps to create this real sense of depth. And that, combined with this steep slope, hopefully really reinforces that the tank is actually really wide, even though it isn't. Okay, so Dave's prepared some plants. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some water in the aquarium, just enough to kind of plant into. Invest in a good pair of tweezers is definitely a good recommendation. Have you guys got tweezers at home?
Not pincer sets. I've got
the curved ones. Yeah, these are good. These are really good for really small, intricate, and you can get into. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I only ever use these for planting unless I've got a real big plant, like one of these, like Epinegatums or Vallisneria, then I'll probably use something like that. I tend to use that just for removing debris and things like that, and I use this for planting. These are good. I've had these for about 10 years now. So I'm just going to wet the top layer of soil here with some. Is it warm? Yeah, it's cool. You probably see that the rocks have changed colour. They've got a more of an amber, kind of rich red colour, which is quite pleasant.
It just changes the perspective of it completely, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then obviously when we plant and fill with water, it's going to look completely different. I think the green and the colour of the rocks will contrast really well. So we've got 2 pots of tissue culture Staragini here. Just get the light over that better for you guys. So Dave's kindly split that up for me already. And the 2 pots have given us 2, 3, you know, a good 8 to 10 portions each, which will hopefully be enough to do what we want to do. If not, luckily we're in a shop which sells lots of plants, so if we ever need any more, it's no problem. Okay, so to plant, really simple. Grab your stem gently in between your tweezers, and then just slide that light forward again so you can see what we're doing, and then just pop that in. Gently remove your tweezers, hopefully the plant will stay there. Simple as that, and just repeat that process. So this is called Marsilea crenata. Dave again has split it up into individual portions. Has a leaf shape similar to Glossostigma, but it's a lot different. It's a lot easier, it tolerates a lot less light, but it does carpet. So eventually it will send out new runners and it will form a lovely low growing carpet, hopefully. It's relatively slow growing, so it's ideal for a lower maintenance tank. I'm just going to split the portions a little bit more to get better coverage. Again, this is tissue culture, so we can guarantee there's going to be no snails in this tank. I think we're using 100% tissue culture plants today, so we shouldn't be seeing any pest snails in here. So same process as before. Grab your plant between your tweezers and then just gently insert. If the plant wants to come out as you take the tweezers out, just gently put your finger on top and then just pull your tweezers away. Okay, this is a good example of why tissue culture is good value. That's just one pot of tissue culture Hemianthus Clitricoides cuba. So now I'm going to just add a little bit more soil to the left and right, like I explained earlier. Just use a paintbrush. Here we have Eleocharis vesicularis mini. Bit of controversy about the true scientific name for it, but I just like to call it mini hairgrass just to save any confusion. So we just start at the back left there, exactly the same way as before. One of the most common mistakes beginners make is not to plant heavily enough. So they think they'll save they might be on a tight budget and want to save money. So they'll spend, potentially lots of money on the aquarium, lots of money on the cabinet maybe, lots of money on the lighting, the filtration system, the CO2, the fertilisers. You can be spending several £100s, if not more, depending on the size of the aquarium. And then they'll think, I only need like a few pots. The plants will grow, they'll spread, so I only need a few pots. Well, actually that's a really big mistake. You've invested all that money and potentially time in researching and getting the right equipment, travelling to different shops or researching online. You've potentially spent upwards of a few £100s at least, and then you put your plants in and you buy half a dozen pots, and then because you haven't got enough, you'll be fighting a uphill battle against algae, and then you'll think, oh, this hobby's rubbish, I don't like it anymore, and then you've wasted all that money on your equipment, all because you didn't spend a few extra pounds or a few extra bucks on some good quality plants. So my top tip of this video is to invest not only in the decent setup but in decent plants. If you buy an unhealthy plant, or not enough plants, or both, then you will be punished by algae. So I can just control the flow now by kinking the hose. Start off really slowly. Okay guys, that's it for the live aquascaping session. Thanks everyone who's watching, my YouTube fans and the guys on the Aquarium Gardens Facebook page. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed myself. I hope you guys have learned a few bits and bobs. I've never done this style of aquascape before, so I've stepped out of my comfort zone a bit. I'm quite pleased with the results. I'm really hopeful it will look great in a couple of months or so once the plants have all grown in. So take care, thanks for watching again, and keep on scaping. Cheerio.